Very good evening and welcome to Primetime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara.
And I'm Sonali Manikbadake. We start off with a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
Lawsuit filed against President Mahinda Rajapaksa dismissed. Minister Mahinda Samarsinghe states that African nations have expressed their willingness to support Sri Lanka at the UN Human Rights Council. And Minister Champika Ranawakal states that it is a challenge to supply electricity from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
On to the stories in detail now. U.S. media reports that a U.S. judge has dismissed a lawsuit that had been filed against President Mahinda Rajapaksa. U.S. District Judge Colleen Kala-Kotley has ruled that she must dismiss the suit against President Mahinda Rajapaksa because the Obama administration says he's immune from litigation as a foreign head of state. The lawsuit was filed over killings allegedly carried out by security forces under the president during the war.
Special advisor to the President on Human Rights, Minister Mahinda Samarsinghe, says that several countries in the African group have expressed their willingness to support Sri Lanka at the 19th session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. We briefed the African group this morning about the work that has been carried out by us so far. At this point, several countries in the African group expressed their willingness to support Sri Lanka. Furthermore, we also briefed the countries in the non-aligned movement about the work that we have done. I would like to state very clearly that they too have expressed their willingness to support us. We will be meeting several Muslim organizations today. We are hoping to obtain their support as well. This bloc comprises of 53 countries. So far, steps have not been taken to present a resolution against us officially. However, we remain alert about this. At present, we are creating the necessary environment to face any such resolution.
The Jatika Helurumaya commented on the Lessons Learnt and Reconciliation Commission report during a media briefing held today.
When everyone was praising the Lessons Learnt and Reconciliation Commission and saying that the LLRC recommendations should be implemented, we said that they had crossed the line. What is the resolution brought by the United States? What is incorporated in the resolution that was provided to the other countries? Does the resolution state that our commanders should be taken for war crimes? No. It talks about devolution of power, establishing good governance and bringing the Right to Information Act. We clearly stated before that they had crossed the line. The United States cannot ask us to implement these things.
The
United National Party charged today that protest campaigns are being organized by the government to cover up rising cost of living and unemployment, as they do not have answers to these issues. UNP parliamentarian Lakshman Kiriyalla made this allegation at a media briefing in Colombo today.
Several government parliamentarians have criticized the LLRC. In such a situation, what is the collective responsibility of the cabinet? Despite what is being said by Mahinda Samarsinghe about the LLRC in Geneva, there is a clash of ideologies within the government. How can the government speak on behalf of the country when they themselves do not have a common stance? Before sitting at summits, the cabinet should have convened and arrived at a common stance and should have taken that message to Geneva. Today, the government is organizing protest campaigns not because of anything. It is because they do not have answers to the rising cost of living, unemployment and corruption.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference in Sri Lanka has urged the government to implement the recommendations of the Lessons Learnt and Reconciliation Commission report as early as possible. Issuing a statement, the CBCSL noted that the LLRC recommendations contain much potential and hope for the future. The Catholic Bishops' Conference in Sri Lanka stated that they believe that many of the recommendations of the LLRC report have the potential to contribute to the healing of wounds and bring about harmony and reconciliation, thus counteract mounting international pressure. The CBCSL statement also urged the government to appoint a responsible body of persons who would carefully monitor the intended process of implementation. The statement has been signed by the President of the CBCSL, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ronchip, and its Secretary General, Bishop Norbert M. Andrade.
On Business News tonight, Minister of Power and Energy, Champika Ranawaka, says that the biggest challenge faced by the Ceylon Electricity Board at present is to provide electricity to consumers between 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. He pointed out that the cost incurred by the CEB to generate 1 unit of electricity during this time period is very high. Tonight on Electricity Shock, we take a look at the role of consumers to combat this problem. Until the 16th of last month, the domestic electricity bill included a unit cost and a fixed cost. However, following the sharp increase of fuel prices, the Electricity Board included a fuel surcharge to the monthly electricity bill in order to cushion the effect. Accordingly, a domestic electricity consumer who used 100 units of electricity per month and paid 2,415 rupees will now have to pay 3,255 rupees following the changes in the electricity tariffs. This is an increase of 840 rupees. When comparing this amount to the electricity tariff in 2005, it is an increase of 200%. We have to now switch off our televisions and lights and stay in the dark.
When you pay the electricity, water and telephone bills, there is nothing left in our salaries.
This is a very difficult situation. Our salaries have not increased. It's the same. When electricity and prices of goods increase, the cost of living automatically increases. It is the poor that gets affected by this. However, Minister of Power and Energy, Champika Ranawaka, speaking at a function, said that the CEB is still running at a loss. The biggest challenge faced by the CEB is to provide consumers with electricity between 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. We can generate electricity without a problem. However, it is very expensive. The cost of a unit of electricity stands between 35 to 36 rupees during this time period. We only charge 16 rupees from the consumers. However, we incur a big loss owing to this. Between 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., if every household switches off a light, we would be able to save 60 megawatts of electricity. Operations at the Kalinitissa power plant, which runs on diesel, can be stopped during this time period if we start saving electricity in this manner. If you iron your clothes at some other time, we would be able to save 50 megawatts of electricity. How can industrialists and hoteliers use electricity sparingly? We delve into this matter tomorrow.
Costa Allegra arrives in Seychelles. Hundreds of documents from the Vatican's secret archives put on display. Details of these stories coming up on Round the World in 99 seconds.
That's still ahead, but in local stories here at home, a tense situation arose during a demonstration organized by the United National Party in Panadura this afternoon. The demonstration was held to protest against the rising cost of living as well as the fuel price increase. The volatile situation arose after party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe addressed the demonstrators.
A number of opposition parties took part in the protest rally which was organized by the United National Party. The protest was held near the clock tower located in the Panadura town centre. UMP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived at the location shortly after the protest began. UMP Deputy Leader Sajid Premadasa as well as parliamentarians Karu Jayasuriya, Ravi Karnanayaka and Dayasiri Jayasekara were among those present. A member of the public requested the mic after the conclusion of Ranil Wickremesinghe's address.
I need to clearly state at this occasion that the United National Party is dedicated to protecting the innocent citizens of this country. Dear citizens, join hands with us. I can then assure you that we will work to send this corrupt government home.